Is shaping up to be a year full of major film franchise sequels and blockbuster hits scattered across several genres. We've already had a pretty great start to the year with the likes of Robert Rodriguez's Alita Battle Angel and Jordan Peele's Us, to name a few. But here's 12 more films the Fat Ninja team is looking forward to in 2019. This is Steve. Possible spoilers ahead. Number 12, Shazam. Love it or hate it, we are in the golden age of superhero films. I personally love it, and I give it the upper hand to any comic book character that makes its way to the silver screen for the first time. DC's on a bit of an upswing lately with the critical acclaim of Wonder Woman and the runaway success of Aquaman. As much as I love them, and I'm sure I'll get a lot of flack for saying this, it's great to see anything that isn't Batman or Superman. When it comes down to it, Shazam just looks like good old school fun. If its trailers are any indication, the film will be fresh, humor-filled, and charming. It's the superhero version of Big, and we can't wait to see it over here. Number 11, Detective Pikachu. While I've never actually played the Detective Pikachu game, the Pokemon main games are amongst some of my all-time favorite video games. Detective Pikachu appears to be so steeped in the lore and universe of Pokemon, it would be hard for even a casual Pokemon fan not to feel ecstatic. Seeing all the different Pokemon, as well as the sundry of their moves, from the game in live action on the big screen, is absolutely thrilling. Big plus, the film acknowledges so many places and events from the game that it itself is more than just a one-shot, but functions as a piece of a much larger universe. Number 10, John Wick, Chapter 3, Parabellum. I'm deeply invested in the titular character John Wick, and I'm excited to see the series to its finale. The choreography for the series is nothing short of incredible, and the film contains an impressive attention to detail. I respect Keanu Reeves for his unrelenting dedication to his training in order to perform his own stunt work. Number 9, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. An anthology series based on the popular novels produced by none other than the master of practical effects horror, Guillermo del Toro, comes a chilling live-action adaptation of Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. With only 4 short teasers and a recently revealed trailer, it looks like it's going to be another trip through the surreal fantasy much like its critically acclaimed Pan's Labyrinth. However, this time, it looks as if he's going straight for suspense and grotesque body effects, like the spider being birthed beneath the young blonde's cheek. Looking forward to seeing which character Doug Jones will embody, so August can't come soon enough. Number 8, Aladdin. In a year that has an unusually high amount of must-see movies for yours truly, my other choice, by a small margin mind you, is Disney's live-action remake of their classic animated feature, Aladdin. Aladdin is my favorite film of Disney's second golden age of animation. Hell, it's one of my favorite animated features, period. And despite some controversy surrounding the live-action's production choices, the latest trailer demonstrated that it had just enough of the old to make me sentimental, and just enough of the new to keep me curious. Number 7, Godzilla, King of Monsters. I've been a fan of Godzilla since the unfortunately not so well received 1998 version of Godzilla with Matthew Broderick. After being extremely patient, I'm finally getting the no-holds-barred Godzilla Monster Brawl, the ultimate showdown proving that Godzilla is the king of all monsters. We got Rodan, Ghidorah, and Mothra all heading into this, the greatest monster throwdown since Pacific Rim. And you can't tell me you're not excited for this. Number 6, Spider-Man Far From Home. As the 22-picture Infinity Saga comes to an end, Spider-Man Far From Home will be the beginning of a whole new era in the MCU. A whole set of stories, characters, and elements have been established, a whole history to draw from, and yet things will begin anew. The film excites me in so many levels. The Spider-Man character holds a lot of sentimental value, being the reason that I got into Marvel and its films to begin with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man back in 2002. Spider-Man Homecoming is amongst my favorite MCU films. It garnered up similar sentiments I felt when I saw Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man film, as well as the emotional resonance I felt from Spider-Man 2. And yet it fits so organically into the MCU and the modern age of heroes. When I saw the trailer for Far From Home, I was inundated with the same excitement. Number 5, It Chapter 2. Okay, so as a kid, Tim Curry's portrayal of Pennywise haunted my every waking moment. It wasn't that he was a clown, because I loved old reruns of Bozo on Saturdays. No, it was that he could be anything, anyone, anywhere at any time. He devoured children who were just like me. I read the book, my dad had the entire Stephen King collection, and ever since, he's been my favorite supernatural evil entity ever created. With that said, I was hyped for Chapter 1, and while Skarsgård's performance was fantastic, especially the opening scene, the film genuinely felt like nostalgia. It wasn't so much scary as it was like being in a world I was familiar with. It may have not been the 1950s, but the kids still fit just as well, and the visuals were mostly well done, especially when he crawled out of the old refrigerator. So I'm most definitely excited for the sequel this year, especially after hearing that Machete plans on exploring much more of the cosmic side of the books. Will we see Manturin? Will Bill learn of the ritual of Chud? I guess we will just have to wait and find out. Number 4, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is Quentin Tarantino's 9th film. That is reason enough that it's on our most anticipated list. If you hadn't guessed it, we're all cinephiles here. Love Tarantino or hate him, he's got style, and that style is every bit evident in the trailer we've seen for his upcoming film. It's got a stellar cast, an interesting premise, and is brought to you by one of the best directors currently working. Number 3, Brightburn. Let me just start off and say I actually like Man of Steel. Don't at me. It was interesting to see a more uncoordinated, conflicted Superman on the silver screen after the typical Boy Scout renditions. I'm a huge fan of the Injustice games and comics as well, and Supes don't get more evil than that. Or does he? While this isn't a Superman movie per se, it's certainly inspired by him, and possibly The Omen. After watching the trailer for James Gunn's newest horror project, I had to watch it twice more, just to try and catch some more details. I mean, just imagine Superman growing up to be Sid from Toy Story, regardless if he had a nice, caring, and moral parents. All because he has the power to just do as he pleases. It's terrifying. Number 2, Rocket Man. If you don't know who Elton John is, where have you been the last 50 years? The man has conquered music in all of its forms. Through the epic soundtrack that graced Disney's The Lion King, to the sad, somber reminder of a life lost way too young during Princess Diana's funeral with Candle in the Wind. What makes the film stand apart from the rest of the musical biopics is that it is being presented in a fantastical way, as much as I imagine he had lived his life. Be sure to catch me in the theaters Singing Along, the second Saturday belts its way out of the speakers. Number 1, Avengers Endgame. 10 years in the making, the culmination of 3 phases of excellent Marvel films all led up to a massive decimation event, which left our heroes defeated. I was ready for this film the second Thanos will return scrolled across the black end credits screen. To say I'm excited for this film is an understatement. And I can't wait to review it with you and the rest of the crew right afterward. Keep a lookout for a special long box unpacked edition on April 27th, after Endgame. Well, what did you think of our list? Feel free to leave a comment, and if you liked the video, please share and subscribe to our channel for brand new content every day. I've been your host, Steve. You can follow me on Twitter at Blockbuster313, or the rest of Fat Ninja family at StudiosFat, #Fat Ninja Studios. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you very soon.